don't know why everything just keeps playing. Everything just is double and triple playing. I'm having an issue.
Michael, what's going on, everybody?
Obviously, in 2 years, I haven't learned how to do anything.
It's all good, man. Hey, guys, let us know if you can hear both of us in the chat. I think we're good, but let us know. Oh, yeah. I see K-Man. What's going on, Silly Llama? What's happening, man? Scott, how you been, buddy? It's been a while.
Everything is double and triple. Are you getting the same thing, Michael?
Double and triple what? Like in the chat?
No, I hear everything I'm saying 2 or 3 times in a loop and everything you're saying in a loop.
No. What about you guys? Let me know in the chat. Do you hear us duplicate, or is it just on his end? He's going to pop out and pop back in. Yeah, I think it's on him. I think his mic is kind of like doing a loop.
Hey, everybody.
All right. Now is it looping? Is it repeating?
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
What is going on? This is unbelievable. Man. We were literally just talking for a half hour with no issues.
You know, well, no, I was about to say, if you mute yours, you won't be able to hear me. I'm trying to think if there's anything. See, there's nothing on my end that should be doing that. I don't know what to tell you, my man. Looking at this, yeah. Speakers are there.
Yeah, I can't even say anything because it just constantly keeps talking back to me.
Oh, wow. Too much bass, he says. Maybe try turning down your volume. So I'm going to turn down mine too. Let me know if it's repeating on your end. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties, guys. Is it still repeating, Scott?
We're having technical difficulties, guys.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I can tell you why. Think about it. You have the browser tab open.
Yes, yes.
So he has this live stream open in a tab on YouTube. It's playing a delayed version because
I'm over here losing my mind.
He was trying to figure out how to better utilize the chat. So I was teaching him. I normally pull up my live stream, pop out the chat. So that's separate than StreamYard, which is the software that we use to live stream on. So
now everything's perfect.
Scott, welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the 2025.
Yeah, you know, everybody, this was so the whole thing of this is to show you that 2 years of doing something, you still learn something new every day.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Oh man,
well, there's probably not a lot of times that you stream to multiple channels either. Most time you just have guests on your channel.
Yes, yeah.
So see, we're going to cut you some slack today, man. You're learning.
Yeah. I thought, oh my God, we're going up in flames and we're only a minute in. Everybody have a good night. We're out.
I thought you were going to bail and I was just going to have to do it on my own, man.
So yeah, you'd be like, so I'm here to celebrate Scott's 2-year anniversary and thanks for stopping by.
That's right.
Okay.
Man.
So everybody, I had a cool intro planned for you. And hey, you know, some days you have good days, some days you have, well, you only see part of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've seen like 12 seconds of a minute. So.
Oh, why would you give us a minute, man?
Because it just kept re-looping on me. I was like, ain't nobody gonna listen to this crap. I didn't even want to listen to it. I knew they're not going to listen to it.
I'm so dying. That's hilarious, man.
All right, everybody. I'd just like to welcome you to. So I just, it was important. You know, if you caught us last night, it was part of Anniversary Edition, but tonight was a special. Because I wouldn't even have a YouTube channel if it wasn't for Michael. So I thought it would be cool if him and I come on here for about an hour, hang out with everybody, just share our life experience, YouTube experience, just kind of how we met and how our friendship started. Because like I said, without him, you know, with his guidance and help along the way, I mean, 2 years, 25,000 subscribers was a nice milestone for us. Awesome. So anybody that's supporting Michael or me or any other things that we're doing, I certainly appreciate it. So, Yeah, so the first 5 minutes of this, you guys can laugh at me. That's fine. I'm used to that.
Hey, we're having a good time. That's all that matters, man.
It's entertaining, and that's why we're here, is for entertainment. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I see we already got a nice group of people in the house.
Yeah,
Thanks
dude.
for stuff. Oh, dang, dude. See, I got my trusty sidekick to go
See,
through.
they're blowing up the chat there, man.
Yeah, see? All right, everybody. Thanks for the happy anniversaries. Thanks for stopping by. Michael, you had coffee and cars today, and now you're doing this with us tonight. So you're just enjoying the hobby from all different directions.
Yeah, dude. It's been a fun day. It's been, man, I've done some traveling lately, and it's been all over the place doing some fun stuff.
So I'm just trying to show a little bit of love to everybody that's showing us.
A bunch of familiar faces.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's such a good group of people joining us on a Saturday night. A little bit of entertainment, some good laughs. Yeah, I promised everybody a good laugh, man. That's we no double sound. Well, you needed to be over here. It was quadruple sound.
Yeah, he was going nuts over there, man. That's funny, dude.
So so for you guys that know, me and Michael met a few years ago when Michael flew up here so it's you know what's funny? So Bass actually did bring us together because Michael was interested in JTR speakers.
Yeah.
He didn't own JTR speakers and wanted to really check them out. So he flew up here to hang out with me and Tony Negretti, and the Bass brought Michael to my place, and the Bass started our friendship, and the Bass brought us together. But we've been pretty close friends now for Michael, that's been 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Man, that's insane how.
Yeah.
So
I was reviewing the JTR Captivator RS2s. I had 2 of them, and I reached out to Jeff and I said, Jeff, man, I'm blown away by your subwoofers, but now you got me curious, like, how do your speakers sound? Never heard JTR speakers. And he said, well, we can make that happen, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, I'd be willing to fly you up. I've got a couple of customers here locally. I can take you over and you can check them out. And so then he's like, calls you, like, hey, bro, we're coming over tonight. And you're like, oh, crap. And you got to scramble to get it all set up. But yeah, man. So we came over to your house, went over to Tony's house, went over to Jeff's house. So in one trip, I got to hear 3 different JTR systems, and I was completely sold. And I'm like, that's what I want in my theater. It's just going to take me a while to get there, Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting in my build 7 years, so I certainly feel you on that. So, so the hobby brought Michael and I together as just fellow enthusiasts. And then Michael attended one of our Bass Brings Us Together events. As you guys will see, for super fun events, he got some great, video of all that and shared it with everybody. But the reason we ended up going that route, so the first one he attended, he's like, man, you got to start your own YouTube channel. Like, this is great positivity for the community, brings people together. There's not really a lot of this going on publicly. And I was like, man, nobody wants to watch me and, talk about bass. And, it's strange to just have I don't care about the camera and stuff in my face, and I could care less about that. But in the beginning, it's weird, because, the internet's a rough place to hang out, especially a hobby you love, whether it's cars, speakers, whatever it is. And there's a lot of trash talkers and stuff out there too. But once you get through the 1% of the Debbie Downers, it's a real positive. It can be a real positive place to hang out. And just we've had some viral shorts and stuff that helped along the way, and people sharing the channel, liking, subscribing, thumbs up, and that just helped push the channel. It was really surreal once we hit like 5,000, 10,000, now like 25,000 subscribers, and people hitting us up daily for like bass events and stuff. So it's actually that has pushed us even into something more. Is because now next year we're going to start doing live sound. Yeah. So, which is going to be an insane EDM bass rig with like 16 to 20 JTR commercial subwoofers, and we're going to give live sound support to like EDM concert style stuff.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, and it's just literally as people like, dude, I've been in your house. I would go to clubs and it sucks. You need to get into the club scene or that scene and do the tuning and the setup. Like, there's a huge need for that. And there's just so many people it's the hype. People hype you up into doing something. And when you're all by yourself, it's hard to do stuff on your own, but so many people push you in a positive way that makes you want to do something cool. I mean, which I imagine that's probably why you started your other business venture too, is people are like, hey, we trust you. We like what you're doing. You know, push us in a direction, you know? And so, I don't know, man, it's strange between my regular job and the family and then doing this on the side. It's just, it's very surreal, which I'm, you know, Michael, you've been doing, how long you been doing YouTube now?
Since January. I've had my channel since, I guess that would
Oh,
be
Pro Youthman.
Yeah, that was way back in the day. I got put it this way. I got serious January of 2018. January of 2018, I had my channel for 4 years, but I would just randomly throw up stuff. So I'd have a GoPro video. I was GoPro Youthman back then. So I was like, oh, I got a brand new GoPro camera. Let me take a basketball and spin it and then slow it down to like 20% speed. I thought that was like, oh, that's going to be cool to see. And I enjoyed it, but I was like, yeah, but I'm not passionate about GoPros. Then I would do a video on the newest iPhone. Then I'd do some on clip speakers. And then I'd do a vacation. And all of these were like a month apart, sometimes 2 months apart. And so I'd only grown 900 subscribers in 4 years. And so for whatever reason, January of 2018, I just said to myself, what if I got serious with this? What if I made one video a week because I had a full-time job as a youth pastor, had a part-time home business as a website developer, still have that business. And on top of that, my kids are young. And then on top of that, now I want to really go all in on this YouTube thing and just see what can happen. And so I didn't go into building the YouTube channel because I wanted to get famous or I wanted to get rich or any of that. I just wanted to see, it was really more of a challenge to myself. Can I grow a channel? And what does that even look like? And can I grow it by sharing my love and passion for home theater? And so once a week, I would make just a video. And the very first like series of videos, I had reached out to Clips. They had the RF7 version 1s and I had the version 1 and 2. They were coming out with the version 3. And I was a moderator in their forum. I had Clips and La Scalas in my theater room. I had Clips desktop speakers. My kids had Clips in their bedroom. And so I was like, hey, Clips, as you can tell, I'm a fan. I like your stuff. I'm a moderator. You're coming out with version 3. I own 1 and 2. I think it'd be cool if I made some videos on my YouTube channel. And so people could actually see the difference. And I could share from a consumer's perspective, how do these sound in the same room? Nobody's ever done that. And then, of course, they were just coming out with this new series. And they said, man, we think it's a great idea. And I'm like, you do? I was so shocked, man. So they sent me a pair of speakers. Man, they didn't ask for a credit card. They didn't ask me to sign a waiver, nothing. They're just like, here you go. What's your shipping address? I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I had them for several months and I probably made 10 different videos on just that one pair of speakers. And I began to get a lot of questions and comments. And so now I'm like diving into that and I'm really enjoying the interaction of that community that you're talking about. And I'm like, I like this, man. Cause I was really, really, really active in the Clips forum. I mean, I was there every single night for hours on end, answering questions, replying to comments. People are getting into the hobby and they're asking like, what about this? What about this? And so I was doing my best to share what I had learned. And so then it kind of clicked. It's like, wait a minute, I could do this through video now. So instead of every single time typing out this long whatever, I could make a video. And if somebody asked that question, I could point them to the video and say, hey, look, I did a whole video on how do you set up Odyssey, or how do you run Dirac, or how do you tow in your speakers and things like that. And so that's really where my journey began. And so it just, it was a hobby / I don't know initially if I looked at it as a business, you know what I mean? But I was serious. I'm like, I'm going to see if I can grow this thing. And so 2 years later, in January of 2020, that's when I decided, you know what? I make enough revenue through like the ads that play at the beginning and the end of the videos in the middle. Google pays us for those ads. And basically, the more views you get, the more people that watch the video, that's how you make money revenue wise through YouTube. And so that in combination with my website business equaled a full-time income. So I'm like, well, let's just go all in. And so I resigned to my job and went all in on YouTube and content creation. And then I began to like, okay, let's look at this as an actual business, And so I began to do some sponsorships and some brand deals. And then I began to go to Cedia and I'd film there. And, so that's kind of where that kind of began the business. And then fast forward several years later, so like 5 years after I started YouTube, then we're like, man, well, I'm always telling people, hey, if you like this, whatever, you like this Weem amp, click on the link and go buy it through Amazon or go buy it through Audio Advice or Crutchfield. Well, what if we became the dealer for the brands that we love and we're most passionate about? And so then we began to buy stock and ship. And that's how Obsessed Home Theater was born. But the journey's been wild, man. But it's been super cool watching you and Kat, man. Would you have ever dreamed in 2 years you'd have 25,000 people watching your channel, commenting, asking questions?
No, and just like the amount of people, I mean, what really, really blows us away, I mean, like having Wayne from the Philippines over here. Hey, we've had, people come in from, I think it was, man, where the heck was it from? I just had to, huh?
Who was it?
His name was viral. He came by like 2 years ago, but it was all overseas. And like, he didn't even believe me. Like, he's like, it's a lot of work to get out of my country.
Oh, okay. Right.
And he's like, please tell me that you're not like screwing with these people, that we can actually come and like listen to your home theater. He goes, because for me to go through everything I got to go through and massive. To come to you and to go back home, he goes, it cost me $10,000.
Wow. That's crazy. That's so
and
wild.
Like he came here and they just sat here all day with me and we watched movie clip after movie clip, listen to all the music. Yeah. And he's just like, man, that was the best money I ever spent. And I'm like, to hang out with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
But to just get people in from Canada, Mexico, I think we've had every state in the United States represented that have flown in or drove in. I mean, you've got to meet so many of those people over here too. I mean, and now you and Rusty are just fixtures at all the, the big event of the year. So it's super cool for us, but it's really cool for the people that attend because we're able to bring in Mark Seaton, Jeff Permanian, Tony, you, Rusty, and like people that people want to meet too, like in the industry. And so it's really so many different things that happen at that event. I can't believe that event has turned into what it had. I mean, for us to go on and announce, hey, we're going to do an event and you get 80 people to commit in 24 hours. Yeah. Like, that's, no, you're right. I would have never thought that in a million years.
I think that's the cool thing is that social media, it gets a bad rap because of course it can be negative, but the reality is there's so much good that I've seen over the past 5 years, doing YouTube. No, has it been longer than that? No, dude, it's been 7 years. I don't know why I'm saying 5. So 7 years on YouTube. There's so much good that has come out of it, man. The friendships, like lasting, true friendships. Like you, I've had people over to my house and we still keep connected. Now we've got customers. And I was texting a customer last night. He's building a full JTR home theater, and he's so pumped about it. He works for ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. I'm like, I want to come out and hang out with you. He's like, come on, man. So I think me and Rusty are going to make a trip out there one day. That's going to be sweet. But,
it's weird that, because the last, because we host almost monthly events where 8 to 12 guys or whatever come by, and to just see at the end of the event, everybody's swapping phone numbers. Yeah. Or like, and I'm just like, the base has brought us together, which the name at first, it's funny because Kat's like, oh, it kind of has a ring, but it sounds kind of corny. But now somebody just sent me a picture that they were at Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. A guy in front of them was wearing a Base Brings Us Together shirt. And I'm like, dude, no way, dude. Like,
that's hilarious.
It's, Yeah, I don't know, the friendships, the connections, the friendships, the stories.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we keep preaching to everybody. The gear is cool for sure.
Yeah, correct. The
But
relationships what matters.
yeah, it's been unbelievable. The only thing I regret is I didn't start it sooner.
Yeah.
So I would have had more footage of like when I had my Clips THX Ultra system for
Same
10
thing,
years
man.
and all the people that came by. And then when I went with the SVS route with the new PB16s that came out, I just,
I'm the same way. I wish I would have documented in video my entire journey, mainly at least here at this home for the past 19 years, because so much has changed. And I've done a video on that, like my journey, and it shows I had a 19-inch TV and I had 2 clip speakers and I had a Velodyne sub, and that was it, and that was my theater room. And I'm drawing out on what do you call it, on masking tape. I went on Walmart.com and I looked up the current size at that time was 55 inches. That was like a big TV back then, 20 years ago.
Expensive TV.
Yeah. And so I'm looking up, this is what's going to be in my theater room. It's a big TV. And I remember going on Walmart.com, looking at the dimensions of a 55-inch TV. And I've got a picture of it on my front wall. I put masking tape, and then I stood in the very back of the room, and I just had this big sigh come over me like, this sucks. Like, that is not going to be a theater experience. And I'm like, crap, now I gotta go projection. That's the only thing I can do. But man, projectors are expensive. They're $3,000.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Panasonic and I'm like, oh man, I definitely can't afford JVC. Definitely cannot afford Sony. Those were the big dogs at that time. And I'm like, well, there's this cheaper company called Panasonic. Maybe I can get one of those. So I think I saved up and I paid $2,500 for my first projector. That was a Panasonic AE3000U. And I bought an Elite screen, 103 inches, and it was super inexpensive. I think I paid like $350 for it. That's all I could afford, but I built it over time. But man, like you, dude, I wish I would have filmed that and shared that on video. But I had documented that whole journey very, very specific. I was a photographer. I loved taking photographs of gear and speakers and stuff. And I was doing a really good job at documenting that in my build thread in the AVS forum. The problem is like, I used to host my own photos. So because I'm a web developer, I would upload my files to my server, and then I would copy that link to that file and go on the AVS forum and paste that and embed it. Problem is many years down the road, it's probably been 5 years ago now, or maybe a little bit less, AVS did something. They changed something. So those embedded links no longer work. So like almost all of my photos just disappeared. A lot of them did. And I'm like, if you uploaded it to their server, then it was fine. But it's if you were embedding it, they were like, we're going to stop that. I'm like, that stinks. So it was like all those memories and all of that journey was lost. So that's why I wish I would have, kind of documented my journey. And then people could literally look back at the beginning of my channel and go, oh, dang, he's starting out where I am. Michael didn't get to where he's at. Scott didn't get to where he was at in one day. This has been a 19-year journey for me here in this home.
Oh,
now I've been in the hobby for like 35 years, back in the days of Dolby Pro Logic.
My
laser discs.
One of my very first memories as a kid, I had to be like 4 or 5 years old, was my dad buying an Onkyo 810 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Just came out with Dolby Pro Logic.
Yeah.
And that was insane back then. Like, you're going to have an actual movie theater playback in your house. Like, it was unbelievable back, and I'm like, that's crazy that's some of my earliest memories, and it's been an addiction ever since.
Yeah.
The reason why I wasn't documenting stuff before, because to be honest, I was like, who's going to care to watch this crap? But because like we've said and I've known now by hosting over 750 people, is 500 of those people had no idea that people enjoy it with other people. Yep. Everybody's like, I've been a troll in my basement by myself for the last 20 years because I didn't know anybody cared about this stuff other than me. But there literally is thousands and thousands of people that get into this. A lot of them are introverts. Obviously, I think it just goes with the hobby. But and once they realize, like, there is a nice group of people, whether, you know, it's on my Facebook page, your Facebook page, but there's positive groups, and it's nice to see people like come out of their shell and now they're active in the community, or they're coming by for demo days and stuff. And you like change their life in 1%, you've changed their life, but for the better. So, so we'll go with this one first. Hey, two JTR 4000 ULFs, Kate, imagine hearing more than two. Well, first of all, two is insane. Yeah. As it is, actually, me and Michael were talking about, because Michael's been impressing the heck out of people with just one in a huge room. And Michael, he's like, man, people can't believe the output coming from just one. Yeah. You know, I went crazy in my room, but I'll preach it to the day I die that you don't need 10 captivators in your room. There's something wrong with my head, and we've come to, you know, that conclusion. So, let's talk about this quick, Michael, because I've actually seen a few people talk about this. Yeah. So, on my understanding, Matt Mormon has his own YouTube channel. Yep. You have your own YouTube channel. Yes. But now you guys have created a channel just for the business, right?
I'll give you a big 10,000 foot view. So Matt Mormon is my business partner, one of my business partners with Obsessed Home Theater. He owns Obsessed Garage. Recently, probably over the past couple months, maybe even less, he decided to begin to separate his content. So now he has Obsessed Garage. He has Matt Mormon. That's basically like where he does his vlogs now. Then he has, I think, Obsessed Builds. So think of it in the home theater space. That'd be like me having a Obsessed Home Theater Tours channel, like a channel just for the tours. So he's beginning to separate. I think he has like 5 channels now. And so we had talked about, so one thing that, you know, truthfully, just full transparency, this whole transition from reviewer to now dealer has been like, we're figuring that out. You know what I'm saying? Very few people in this industry that I know have done that. They started out as a reviewer, and then they're like, man, they become so passionate about this. They're like, man, I believe I can provide value by being a dealer for the brands that we love. And so I know Jeremy, Techthusiasm, he started, he actually became a dealer for Kaleidoscape right before we did. And then we were already building out Obsessed Home Theater, but we really weren't any dealers, you know, for any brands. And so he became, you know, he decided to go down that route himself as well. And so very few people have done that. And so in that process, we're still figuring out, like, what does this even look like? You know, am I no longer a reviewer? Because I don't care about a title. I could care less. My goal is to provide videos that'll help you guys that are building your channel, or I'm sorry, not building your channel, building your theater. I want to make content. It's like, okay, if I got this Weem amp right here. Okay. So they sent this to me, and it's like, okay, what videos can I make that would help you to decide if that is a good fit for you? You know, so I, as a consumer myself, I'm going to review this or test this or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to get some experience with it, and I want to share that experience with you. And then if I love this product, instead of just saying, hey, go to Amazon or go to whoever, Best Buy, and go pick up one, I've got a link in the description. It's like, okay, if I love this enough, what if I contact Weem or whoever the brand is and say, man, I love your product. I'd love to be a dealer for it. We'd love to buy it, stock it, ship it, support it. You know, so we're really getting behind. I mean, think about that. It's interesting because every once in a while you get somebody be like, yeah, you only mention JTR because you're a dealer. I was praising JTR for 5 years before I became a dealer. Think about that.
Well, you were praising him before you even had him yourself.
Well, the thing is that Jeff didn't even have he still doesn't. To this day, Jeff does not have an affiliate program. You know, with like Arendal or Clips doesn't really even have one either. SVS. So if SVS sends me a product, they have an affiliate program. So I basically review the product and I say, hey, love this sub, or it's okay, or here's what I like, here's what I don't like. And hey, if you're interested, here's a link. You click on it, you go to their website. That's a trackable link. And basically, if you end up making a purchase, then I get 3%, something really, really insignificant. So the thought is, well, what if I love it so much that I become a dealer for it? And then we buy it, stock it, ship it, And so that's really the premise of that. But in that process, truthfully, full transparency, I know that, with us talking about the brands that we carry, it's not going to set well with like all the time with my core audience, because they're like, wait a minute, I see a lot of these videos on JTR and on Perlisten and on Kaleidoscape, but what about all this other stuff you used to do? Clips reviews and SVS reviews and this review. Well, I'm still doing that. So what we decided to do is, what if we created a channel called Obsessed Home Theater that me and Matt can begin to upload to, and we're still figuring out like what content is going on my channel, what content is going on, what I'm saying? What do I upload to the Obsessed Home Theater?
Well, you're learning as you go.
So we don't know. Again, nobody's done this in our space. Like, we're figuring this out. And I've just always told you guys, I'm super transparent. It's like, I'm bringing you along my journey and my ride. As we build out Obsessed Home Theater, I said, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to be transparent with you. And so that's really what we're doing. So we started the new channel. We uploaded a couple of videos. Matt is going through, he brought all the JTR subwoofers in one single room. I think all but maybe 2 models at the time. And he's like, and I was actually on a trip, and I had flown out to Wyoming for that video with AWOL. Mm. And so while I was out there, him and Rusty, they got all the speakers or all the subwoofers, brought them into the lab. And so he's going through them. And so the idea is, we're willing to put forth the work that nobody else is going to be able, nobody's willing to do. Like, what other JTR dealer is going to take all of those? Because think about it, Jeff doesn't send these to us. We buy them. So we purchase the JTR speakers. Now we're unboxing some of them so that we can make videos for you guys, so that we can tell you about the products. But then eventually we either have to take those subwoofers and speakers that we unbox and either leave them in the theater room, in the lab, or we turn around and sell them as like B stock. We're not going to sell them brand new. You'll never have to worry about that. We're always going to be transparent on that. And so for my guys on my Patreon, they always get first dibs. So if you're thinking about like, man, I want to get into this, I promise you, we're going to have some good stuff, because we got a ton of subwoofers that we're going through. We're going to do it with whoever we find on the budget friendly side. I've been looking at ELAC. I've been looking at Sioux Research. And so we're chasing down we've figured out who we want on the top end, but what do we want on the entry level? And so,
you got Perlisten and JTR at the top end.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't really see us going higher than that. I mean, of course, there's Wisdom Audio, there's Wilson Audio.
But to buy and stock that is a insane.
Yeah. We're spending, we spend a ton of money buying stock and inventory so that you guys don't have to wait. So those of you that buy JTR, guess what? We've got them in stock most of the time. I was just talking with Scott, the new Kalos. I've got 12 of those in natural finish. We sold almost all the blacks. Got 2 of those left. We just got the new subwoofers in. I got 6 of those.
Yeah, so I lost my exclusivity. Now there's more Kalos 12s out in the wild.
Yeah, so that's just been the journey. But where that other channel is coming from is I don't want to alienate the core audience that is here because they want to see the reviews. Yeah. And so I've still done that. But what I've done is I've added to my channel, because used to I did 1 a week, remember?
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
when I went full time, I did 2 a week. And then now I'm doing sometimes 3 and 4 videos a week. And so you're seeing a bunch more of JTR and Kaleidoscape and Red Atom, all the brands that we're carrying, in addition to basically what I've always done, which is reviews. And so we're just figuring that out. That's really what it's about, trying to figure out how do we truthfully appease everybody. And you're never going to please everybody. You know, some people are like, you know,
well, it's impossible to even try.
Yeah.
It just, yeah.
I mean, there are going to be some people that go, well, now that he's a dealer, I'm out. Well, fine, dude. I mean, I'm still going to make content based on what I love, you know? And so when I get a product in, I'm going to share with you the good, the bad, the ugly, and be like, look, here's what I like about it. Here's what I don't like about it. Here's what I think they can improve with it. And then if we love it enough, then we reach out to the brand and say, hey, man, we'd love to carry this. You know, one reason why we picked up Red Atom is because of the value proposition. It's a brand that hardly anybody knows about. We know about Middle Atlantic. We know about Strong AV, but these are expensive. Red Atom is a whole lot cheaper. And they actually include everything. They include all the racks. They include the fan. They include the lock on the door. A lot of that stuff you got to pay extra for when you're dealing with another brand. And so we want to just continue to provide value to the home theater community. And like I said, the cool thing is we're going to be testing and comparing and doing a ton of stuff. But a lot of that may end up on, like when we go through and we're comparing a JTR Captivator RS1 and a Kalos. Well, we're probably going to do that on the Obsessed Home Theater channel. And because it's going to be repetitive, it's going to be, all right, we're going to compare those two. Now we're going to compare the 2400 to, I don't know, the RS2, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to just do a bunch of that. And we don't want like my core audience on the Youthman channel to go, oh my gosh, another freaking JTR video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the people that are interested in that, we want to be able to provide that because we think that's going to be super valuable because nobody else is willing to do that. Period.
Well, I think from a business point of view, it's good to be like, I can watch on this one channel everything this business has to offer, everything they sell. Yeah. And like if they don't even care about your personal other crap, they're just like, I want to buy some home theater gear.
Yeah.
Every one of these videos these guys actually sell, so let's see what they got to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think on a business side
of it, a lot of like just personal experience.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we've got the ability to do A/B comparisons in the same room. You know, I don't know anybody else that's doing that has a channel. And so, you know, again, we just want to provide value. We want to support you guys, help you to figure out what is best. It's not, I can promise you, like some of the brands that we carry have the least amount of margins in the business. It's bad. It's like, all right, but we're going to make this work because we believe in the product. You know, there's some brands that they have huge margins. We don't care them because it ain't about the margins. I think if you provide value to the customer, if we are helping and we're, you know, you guys tell me all the time, Michael, I don't have the ability to get this subwoofer in and this subwoofer in to figure out which one is the better one. Well, guess what we do? So we're going to do the work for you. And we're going to do our best to be able to present something that makes sense and tell you why we feel this is better than this. And if we love this enough, then we reach out to the brand and say, hey, we love this. And we think a lot of other people are going to love it too. Can we become dealers for it? Can we buy it? Can we stock it? Can we ship it? So that's really just the heartbeat of it.
And I can't stress to people enough that, especially if you're going to purchase a whole home theater setup, that you literally pay the few $100s to fly in to see Michael or see me or see any, like if you're interested in JTR stuff or whatever, because no lie, if I wanted to make a large purchase, it's worth a $300 flight, hang out with somebody for a few hours before you spend 5, 10, 20, 50, 100. I mean, it just, so and these are people that I don't even share my channel because they don't care about a camera in their face. Right. People are talking about spending 50 grand. They're like, hey, I've never heard of a JTR sound system before. Can I fly in? Can we have lunch? Can I check out your system? And then I'll just fly back home and make my decision. Yeah. And it's really invaluable to be able to do that. So Are you guys at the point now, Michael? Like if somebody says, "Hey, I want to hear for myself a 215 and 212," can people actually fly down to see you and make an appointment to do that?
Yeah, they just would have to make an appointment because number one, I'm 2 hours away from the lab. And so it would be one of those things where I just need to coordinate my schedule to make sure that I can drive up, be there. Cause I want to meet you. I don't want you flying in and hanging out and me not get a chance to meet you.
Leave them in Rusty's hands.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that. And they would be fully, I mean, he's fully capable, but
I know.
I'd want to be a part of that because back to what we were talking about earlier, I value the friendships. I value the relationships. And so, but yeah, absolutely. So if somebody, and part of it, we just need to make sure, all right, number one, do we have it like unboxed? Because here's the reality. Let's say somebody said, hey, I'm just curious. Hey, I'm coming to Disney World with my family, or I'm on a business trip. And while I'm there, I would love to be able to hear this and this just out of curiosity. Truthfully, we're not going to go and unbox a brand new pair of this to compare a brand new pair of that, because then we can't sell it, at least, full like price. We have to discount that. And now we're losing money as a company,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so they absolutely, if somebody was interested, and that's why I've always opened up my home. It's like, look, if you're serious, like you're thinking about like, man, that's a lot of money to invest. But if I can hear it and experience, and if I can be sold, I'd love to do that. And so I've had people do that over and over. And I finally just started filming it. It's like, well, shoot, if I'm going to do it and I'm going to spend 2 hours with somebody or 3 hours with somebody in my home, well, what if we at least made a video out of it? That would make my time more productive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then other people, because you guys hear what I think. Well, what if you heard what other people think? And Scott does the same thing on his channel. Yeah. You know what he believes because he's got 10 JTR subwoofers in his room behind him. He's got 2 other JTR systems in 2 rooms. So he's completely sold. Well, what other people think? Well, look on his channel. Look on my channel. We've interviewed a ton of people, and they're like, "This is wild." Like
when I tell people like over 750 people have been here, like that's not an exaggeration. Like we're like literally, I got a waiting list now of like 47 or 48 people that are like, hey, the next time, but you can only go through 10 people at a time. It just between. I honestly, I'll admit a flaw of myself was I found myself taking time away from my family and to keep entertaining people. So I kind of backed that off.
Sure.
Just a little bit. If
you got to put some boundaries.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Got to set some boundaries. One thing I'm excited about, Scott and the crew is coming down in November.
Oh, yes,
so they're going to fly down here. Oh, no, are you driving?
3,000-mile road trip, brother.
Oh, holy cow. Yeah.
I just rented. Okay, now how cool is this? Rented a brand new minivan. So the whole middle-aged dad thing, the guys hopping in the minivan, we're doing that.
Hilarious.
Just so we could carry all of our luggage and stuff and just have room. So me and the Chicago boys are traveling to multiple locations, but our final destination will be in Florida to hang out with Michael, hang out with the Obsessed Home Theater crew, hang out with Rusty, hang out with Gene. Matthew Pose is also a very good chance that we're going to be going by there. And I'll be documenting a lot of that trip. Michael's going to be documenting a lot of that also. So
I'll probably come, like when y'all go over to Gene's house, I'll probably go. I don't know if Matthew's going to be available. I think I got an email.
Yeah, he said we got like a 50-50 chance just because he had a client kind of mess with the schedule a little bit. So,
yeah, definitely Chevy Chase vacation trip. So I think it's going to be hilarious. I think it's going to be fun.
There's going to be no sleep on that trip.
Yeah. They're just going to come down. They'll come to my house. We'll hang out for a little while. We'll take them up to headquarters in near Ocala. So it's about 2 hours north of me. So we'll go up there. We'll go to Gene's house, Gene Della Sala from Audioholics, possibly Matthew Pose from Pose Acoustics. Each one of them have, 2 channel setups and home theater setups. And it's just us enjoying the hobby and enjoying the friendships. So
do you, are we going by Matt Mormon's place as well?
Yeah, I'm sure we could arrange that.
Because I seen him.
Let me reach out to
him. Our email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can ask him. I'm sure as long as he's available, he'd be more than happy to have everybody over.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, he's got a Perlison system downstairs in the living room, and then he's got a JTR system in his theater room upstairs.
Yes.
And he's got some cool cars.
I certainly think everybody's in for a treat between your channel and my channel.
Yeah.
Just I mean, me just with the home theater guys in a van traveling across the country to go do this.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories and the laughs that we're gonna have along the way. It's yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to it. So, but then once again,
I like that. That's hilarious.
Is I get a step away from, because when you're host so much, you have so much responsibility that everybody else having a good time. Correct. So now I get to be the enthusiast again.
You get to be the recipient. Yeah,
exactly. Which I thoroughly enjoy. So
yeah, that's one of the great things. Like, you guys have a great group of people in your area that you can kind of go to different people's homes, and the folks in Wisconsin, they do that, and there's a group in Texas that they're real good about that. We really don't have that here in Florida, and so I think we should, but I need somebody to head that up. I don't need another responsibility.
Yeah.
But if somebody said, man, I'll head that up, I will 100% open up my home, and I'll do it, like every 4 months or 5 months or whatever. We'll host it here at my house. And so the idea with that is, 1 month it's at my house, and then 1 month maybe it's at Gene's house, and the next month might be at Matthew Poe's, and next month it'd be somebody else, Casey's house, and next month Benny. He's got an awesome Ascendo home theater. I still haven't gotten over to his. He's my videographer for some of my trips, and Brad, his home theater. So there's a bunch of people that we could rotate, but I need somebody to head up that schedule, and we just never done that.
So obviously, we're cool with taking people's questions along the way of this. And, so I haven't heard RF7.3. I never even checked out the 2s, but I've heard the 3.
Yep.
But I mean, not enough. I mean, Michael, this would be a better question for you, just because you've had more. The Kalos 465s, I actually just got done listening to again before me and Michael came on here. I listen to those daily, but so the 465 to me, in my living room setup with just a run-of-the-mill $1,500 Denon receiver, plays as loud as 99% of people would ever want it to play, and it does it very clearly. The dialogue is very crispy and clean, and I've demoed that system now to about 100 people because it's fairly new here, and everybody's really been blown away by it. But for that direct comparison, I'll leave that more to you, Michael.
So I've owned the RF7s, the originals, number one. They're very bright on the top end, like really bright. A lot of you either love them or you hate them, and a lot of people hate them because they're like, oh my gosh, they are shrill. When you crank them, they get really bright. So when they came out with the 2s, they did a better job on that top end, kind of taming it a little bit, what I call taming the highs. That was kind of in the middle. And then when you get to the 3, it's definitely more laid back. And then there was one other series in between there called the RF83s. I owned all of those. The 83s were the most laid back speaker that Klipsch has ever made. It doesn't even sound like Klipsch. It doesn't even sound like a true horn. And some people liked it. I don't think a lot of people liked it because, and I owned them.
That was the Triple H, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think a lot of people liked it because it didn't have that signature Klipsch sound that they were used to. The kind of the very forward sounding, very kind of in your face, very lively and dynamic. And so I've owned all of those. And so the 7.2s, they were great speakers. My son, actually, I gave them to my son, so he still rocks those to this day. He's got the matching RC64 version 2 center channel, and great set of speakers. Okay, so if you were to compare the set, now I've never put them in the same room because Kalos came out way after I sold my Klipsch, long time ago. So the Kalos 465 by itself compared to the RF7.2s, the 7.2s would blow it away, and here's why. With the 465s, you have to run a subwoofer with it. They only go down to about 100 hertz. Jeff even recommends somewhere on your crossover, you need to set your crossover higher than when you typically would. With bigger towers, you can run like 80 hertz, 70 hertz, 60 hertz, something like that. With the Kalos, you need to run like 90 to 100 hertz, and anything below that, send it to the subwoofer. So if you were just comparing two speakers to two speakers, the 7.2s will blow it away, because you're not going to be impressed with the Kalos just by themselves. They don't produce bass, if that makes sense, like lower bass, 100 hertz and down.
So you're talking 2-channel versus 2-channel.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So, of course, most of us, and I always recommend, I don't care how big your speakers are, add a subwoofer or multiple subwoofers. Totally, even for 2-channel music. So if you introduce a subwoofer to it, now I think things begin to change. Clips is still going to be, pretty loud. It's going to crank. It's definitely going to have more bottom end than the towers. But again, we're crossing it over, sending those low frequencies to a subwoofer. I believe that the Kalos is going to take an advantage over the RF-7.2s in the dialogue, in the clarity, even in the output. I don't think the clips are going to be able to outperform it in like high output and still maintain the clarity and without breaking up on the top end. Now they'll get loud. I've cranked them many years, the 7s, the 7.2s and 7.3s in my living room. But the Kalos 465 paired with a quality subwoofer or multiple subwoofers, I think is going to provide a better experience than just than the RF-7.2s with a subwoofer. So we did some demos today. We had just unboxed the new 12 sub. The plan was, because we got all these big subwoofers up in the front for Cars and Culture, for Obsessed Garage. And the thought was, the guys are going to come in. We're going to do one of the Bose things, We're going to play some music. And then we're going to, what do you think you were listening to? And of course, they're seeing all these big subwoofers. Are like, oh, it's probably that one. No, it was really these two 12s that are hidden behind. So we were wanting to do that, but we didn't get a chance to do that because basically we ran out of time. People started coming in. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't have any run Dirac yet. So I'm like, I don't want to give them a bad experience. So I ended up, we left the 4000 ULF sofa table. So it's dual 18s, 4,000 watt amplifier with the Kalos. And I would always ask them, like, you let me know volume wise. And one guy or one lady, she was like, yes. In other words, like, crank it up. Because I was like, you let me know if you want me to go louder. And she just says, yes. And so I cranked it up. I mean, it was loud. And those small speakers were able to hang with two 18-inch subwoofers. Now let that sink in a little bit. That's wild for the size of those. And I had one gentleman, he came in and he said, all we were doing is listen to Kalos 465s and the one subwoofer. And when we got done, I shared one, he's like, what were we listening to? I said, well, those, the two light colored speakers. He's like, really? He's like, I thought you had those other big ones, because we had the 212 RTs kind of sitting behind them. He said, I thought it was coming from the big speakers. Like, you got to be kidding me. And so they're blown away but I would show them. I'm like, look, these things can get stupid loud and maintain fidelity. But then I would put on something like super chill, like piano music or guitar music. One guy, he came in and he's like, can you play that song from Phil Collins, the drum one? I'm like, In the Air Tonight? He's like, yeah. And so then we played that. And I'm like, you tell me the volume. And he was an older gentleman. He's like, right there is good. So we weren't even like cranking it. It was just normal. And we listened to the whole song. And he was like, wow. He's like, that was awesome. That was cool. One guy, like I said earlier, he walked in, he listened to the system and he said, man, I thought I had a good system. He said, now I'm having to rethink everything. And that was just two speakers, Kalos 465s. So I think they're incredible. I actually brought them home. I'm going to be doing some testing in my theater room in a 2.2 system. So I've got the Kalos 465s. I've got the Kalos 12 sub. I got two of those. And then I also want to test out the 265s with the Kalos, because not everybody has the room for big speakers. And so, well, maybe what do the 265s sound like? Can they still have good output, great mid-range, good, crisp highs, very detailed for movies and music? So I'm going to do that. And so we're going to have some fun. So I'll be documenting that. Now, whether that's going to go on my channel or the Obsessed Home Theater channel, don't know. So make sure you're subscribed. I know that sounds kind of weird, but not weird, but like hey, go subscribe.
Hey, if you want that content,
If you're interested, make sure you subscribe to both channels because I'll be bouncing around between both of them.
Back to the output of 465. So, and Youthman was there, but he was obviously running around with the camera and talking. And it's funny because obviously a lot of us know Michael, and he's kind of like a celebrity in this hobby. So when people come over, people are grabbing at him nonstop. But so Jeff at my last get together said, "Hey, I'm going to bring the 465s, introduce them to your community, and let everybody get videos and pictures and hear them." So I didn't have a system in the room that we set them up in. And Jeff goes, "I'm going to bring the new amplifiers that I'm going to be releasing at some point too. They're due about 800 to 1,000 watts per channel on the amplifiers." And he had his 2025 touring edition PA live sound reinforcement high output subwoofer. And I was like, dude, you're going to use that with the 465s? Like, we're not going to be able to hear the 465s. He goes, just relax. So he set that system up, and he did all the calibration through Direct, and he was in charge, because the other two systems in my house at the time I own, those are mine, all dialed and calibrated. Mm-hmm. He said, "You worry about what you're doing, I'll worry about what I'm doing." Yeah. And he cranked those puppies up so loud, and people were like, "What the F is going on in here?" And it was funny because we had such good video footage, like people's jaws were just dropped that those small speakers could keep up with a high output PA sound reinforcement sub. And I use them upstairs now with a pair of Kalos 12s, and they seamlessly integrate. If you guys watch when I talk about them, like, they cross over great. I had a crossover, I believe, like around 90 hertz, but the subs and the speakers, everything meshed together, good in my room. Like anything, though, it's all about setup, position. Yeah. So, certainly take that into effect. It's, and Jeff goes, yeah, he goes, "I'm only pushing 1,000 into those." I was like, "Well, you're going to like set those on fire." He goes, "Oh, they're rated like 16 or 1,800. You're good." I'm like we could just double up the power. Everybody already moved out of this room, and everybody's standing in the hallway because it's so loud. But yeah, it was great. It was funny. Here's another question: how do you stop everything from falling off the counters in your house?
Mine don't do that. Now I have the sealed version, and we were talking about this earlier. Me and Rusty were doing some comparisons between sealed and ported. And in my brain, so it's been quite a while, been many years since I've had ported subwoofers that I've owned, especially dual, subwoofers. And we were honestly surprised at how much more output the 4000 ULF has over the RS2s. And this is a pretty big room. It's like our room's like 18 feet wide, 30 something feet deep, 10 foot or like 9 foot ceilings. So it's a pretty big room. And it's a pretty significant difference between the 4000 ULF. It's insane. And so Kaysen, I think he said earlier, he's got two 4000 ULFs.
Yeah.
That's it. Those things they're freaking bonkers. I did not have, people ask me all the time, "Mike, why didn't you go with the 4000? I don't have room. Dude, my room is 13 feet wide, 19 feet deep. And I wanted 2 rows of seating. Scott's got a single row, so he can add more subwoofers around his room. I don't have that luxury. I don't have the ability. They'd just be all over my room. You'd be tripping over them. And so I needed to put them behind my screen. I could have possibly done the tall version, but it would have been like a nightmare getting that thing kind of inside, the cabinet and angled up in there.
But were the talls even out then? They might not even been available.
I thought they were.
Oh, okay. Because it had to be very close on that timetable.
Yeah. I think they were, because I'd considered it, but I'm like, it'd look really cool to have. And I had, Jeff had sent them to me to review, and I'm like, dude, this is plenty for my room. Like, that's all I need. I don't need monstrous bass like Scott does. I want to be able to feel it. I want to be able to have that tactile response, and it provided that. Absolutely. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely a different experience. And Scott is funny because I was talking to Rusty today, and I said, to me, the biggest difference between sealed and ported, if you're comparing kind of apples to apples, like in the same, not series, but what I'm saying, like same quality, I guess. Typically ported are more violent. And it's funny because we were on a call with Scott today, And Scott used the same verbiage. He said violent. I said, Scott, that's exactly how I describe it. And so if you want the bass that like just comes out and grabs you, I envision, going from say an RS2, which is what I have, to a 4000 ULF, which is the ported version. It's kind of like Loki when he was fighting the Hulk and he grabs him and he's like, does like just bam, 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 bam. That's how I envision like a ported JTR subwoofer. It's real aggressive. It's real violent. And you're right. It'll start knocking stuff off your countertops and stuff. Scott had you had like everything shaking in your room and upstairs. And
it destroys my. It's funny, Case, and when people come over to my house, they play this little game of who can stand right above the room and not get sick to their stomach.
Yeah,
because people can't see. And actually, the first time when I had all 10 set up, I only had like 5 people over, and we were in my theater room, and we're going crazy and just destroying the house. We went upstairs, and the one guy goes, "Dude, where's your couch?"
Yeah.
And it slid all the way into the dining room and like go making its way through the kitchen. It's only, when people hear you say that, they're like, this guy's full of like it. Whatever you think stupid, violent bass is, it really, really is that. Yeah. I've had multiple people step out of this room. Like I am extremely uncomfortable. I'm not staying in there.
Yeah.
But once again, I tell people that is not a good use of your money.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I use it for myself a couple times a year, or when certain people come by for that kind of demo. Mm-hmm. So out of the 1,000 times my system's gotten used, I've only done that 20 times. How good of it? It's funny because I had this conversation honestly all the time. So for reference and over reference playback in this room, 2 or 3 subs is insane, literally insanity.
Yeah.
So having the 10 is only because I was chasing certain numbers at certain frequencies, and that was a self-fulfilling thing that I was on.
It was just a personal goal.
Yeah, just
can I
push the envelope? Can I get to the world record? Can I beat it? And it was just a different way for me to enjoy the hobby. So
100%. And that's the thing. We all have different goals. For some of you, a sound bar is all you need. That's all you want. And that's cool. I think Scott and I are of the mindset, like, we can celebrate that. Like, I'm not going to look down on you and say, man, you don't really have a home theater because you only have a sound bar. No. If that meets your needs, and when you watch TV and when you watch a movie and when you listen to music, you get it just fills you, that's great. If you got a clip system, you got a Bose system, you got well, maybe not Bose, but I'm just kidding.
Well, there goes my sponsorship for Bose. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, but whatever the deal is, like, you just chase your dream. And so Scott's vision and his goals are going to be different than mine. Like Rusty, he's doing 215 RMs all the way around as his bass layer. That's insane, man. Like, who does that? Well, he's got a different goal than I do. You know what I mean? And so we all have different goals, and you just have to figure out, like, what is your end game? And then what do you need to do to make steps to get there? And I'm a firm believer that goals that aren't written are just wishful thinking. So think about that. And that, I'm not just talking about home theater. That's like in everything in life. If you don't write down your goals, if you don't dream about, because for the longest time, Jessica and I were like, man, we want to go to Hawaii. Well, guess what? We never put it on the calendar. We never wrote it down, but it's until you do that, it's just wishful thinking. It's like, it's a dream. Oh. And so some of you are looking down the road. You're going, man, it'd be nice to have JTR one day, or it'd be nice to have Per Listener, or it'd be nice to have a kaleidoscope, or it'd be nice to have a projector, or it'd be nice to have actual theater seats instead of my couch, or whatever that is.
I want a kaleidoscope.
But the reality is,
down.
But you just gotta think through it and go, okay, if that's what you want, what is it going to take to get there? For some of us, truthfully, man, I've got friends.
Michael, we lost your face.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me see what's going on here.
These new guys with YouTube, I'm trying to teach them the ropes. These guys, I tell you.
Oh, I know it. I don't even know why it does this, but it switches every once in a while. I can almost guarantee it. It is. What in the world? EOS. That's my webcam. What in the world?
Hey, now I can't fit. You know what, guys? You guys all got to laugh at me at the beginning, and now we can laugh at the veteran for a minute.
No, my camera's done this before. I don't know. It's an older camera, so I don't know what's going on with it.
So Silly Llama, going from TV speakers to a soundbar is actually a pretty nice upgrade, especially if you've never heard anything else. Man, I cannot agree with that more. And that's no lie. So the room where I put the Kalos, we had a soundbar in it because we hated the TV speakers. Mm-hmm. So making the jump from the TV speakers to the soundbar was a world of difference. And now that we've gone from that to a dedicated receiver and separate speakers, that's even so. It's funny because once you get to like my room, like there's nothing I can really do in my room that would be like 2 times better. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, within a reasonable budget, and by that I mean like a ton of money. Yeah. But like moving up to a soundbar for a few $100s, or moving up to a dedicated receiver, you're getting so much more money on your return at the beginning of this journey. So I tell everybody, they're like, "Oh, I just want to shoot to the end." No, man, there's so much fun until you get to the end.
Yeah, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, and it takes us all a long time. Yeah. So it's funny. I see Miguel. He's one of our customers. Miguel is building a cool home theater, dude. So he just got he just ordered 3 JTR Noesas, 212 HTRs. He's like everybody else. He's buying them in pieces. So he'd buy like 1 subwoofer, and then next week he'd buy another one. So he's got 2 subwoofers, I think the RS2s, and then he ordered 2 110 HTs and then 2 110 HT slants. And so he's so pumped, man. He's so excited. So good to see you in the chat, man.
You know what, Michael, before we get too far, and I think this is a little bit, I mean, more of a personal question, but I don't think you would mind answering it. No, I'm sure other people are wondering this too, is Bob was asking, has there been any new news on the house?
Yeah, actually, I saw that and I totally forgot because I'm not logged into StreamYard, so I don't have the ability to like star them or anything. So Bob, the short version is the housing market in Florida is just, I mean, it's crap. So we had our house on the market for 6 months. We had 1 offer. That offer was the very first week that we had listed it, and they were asking like $50,000 less than what we were asking. They wanted us to pay 3% of their closing costs, and they wanted to keep my brand new washer and dryer. And I'm like, you guys are on crack. Like, no, I'm not giving away my home. And so we turned down that offer. And that was the only offer we've gotten on the house in 6 months. So we ended up taking the house off the market. We're probably just going to, I don't know, wait at least a couple months to let it reset in the system. Because, of course, the longer a home is on the market, people begin to wonder like, that thing's been on the market for 6 months. There's something wrong with it. It must be haunted. Yeah. Like, you know, they must have roaches or, you know, something crazy. And so by letting it reset, when we do go to relist it, it'll be like day 1 listing, and hopefully the market will be a little bit better. So we're just being patient right now. But yeah, Siphonics, our housing market is just, it's trash right now.
So really, for the people of you that don't know, Michael's putting in some hours of driving to get to and from the lab because what is that? Is that like 3 hours in driving total for you?
No, it's right at about 2 hours, between an hour, depending on traffic, 1:45 to 2 hours. So it's one
total,
way.
Or to just that's one way.
So I got up this morning at 5:45. I left the house at 6 and got up there at 8, and then I was there till probably about 2. We did Cars and Culture from 10 to 12, and then. I think me and Rusty hung out in the theater room. We were doing some demos and we were playing with some stuff and swapping out some speakers and subwoofers. And then I'm like, you know what if I just take all this stuff home with me? And so I grabbed 2 Kalos 465. I grabbed 2 265s and then 2 of the subwoofers, the 12 subs. So I'm going to play with those. And yeah, man, I appreciate it, January. Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm willing to put in the work. And if I had to go up there 3 times a week, I would. You know, right now it's like, okay, we can't sell our home. And the good thing is I can still make content here. Like I brought those speakers and subwoofers here so I can do it in my theater room. The original thought was, okay, if we build a lab, then I can tear apart that and it can be in a disarray and I could bring in speakers and subwoofer and I don't have to rip apart my theater room. You know, like right now I have my Anthem back in, but I've also got a Trenov in for review. So I've already done some videos on that, but I've taken it out, put my Anthem back in. I've taken that out. I've put the Onkyo in, you know, so I'm constantly swapping out my stuff. And so that's what the lab is for. But in the interim, while we're not, like our house hasn't sold, so I just have to make a trip up there, sometimes I'll go up there like on a Friday and, you know, I'll get up early in the morning. Me and Rusty will make some content Friday. I'll spend the night with him. And then we come back to the, you know, Obsessed Garage, Obsessed Home Theater headquarters and, you know, make some more content on Saturday. So sometimes I'll do a 2-day thing. Usually it's just a day. So I'll go up early in the morning, stay all day. Sometimes I've gotten up at 6 or left at 6, got up there at 8, stayed there till 7 p.m. and then drove home 7:30, go get dinner. So it's like I'm leaving at 8:30, getting home at 10:30, you know. So, but yeah, but that's the thing. If I want this business to succeed, I want it to do well. I want to serve you guys well. And so when you go to obsessedhometheater.com and you hit I think up at the top right, it's basically like connect with us and you send an email, I get that email. So I'm the one, 9 times out of 10, I'm the one responding. And it has my signature when I respond or if Manny responds, but I'm almost always the one that responds. Now, if you have an issue, typically like one guy, this is the first time it's happened this whole year that we've been in business. A guy emailed me today and he's like, hey, Michael, man, I hate to say it, my JTR subwoofer got a dent in it on, you know, in shipping that got damaged. What do I do? And I said, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. I said, Manny will take care of this on Monday, you know? And so Manny is our support. So he handles that. So I'm handing that off to him because that's what he does. He does the support side of it. But when people email me and say, hey, Michael, do you have this in stock? Or, hey, Michael, I'm thinking about building this. Like, you know, Miguel, he and I have had multiple emails and text messages back and forth because he's figuring out, man, it's a lot of money. I want to make sure I'm making the right decisions. So I'm helping him figure out what's going to work best for his room and his goals. And so, but yeah, I'm willing to put in the work. You know, I'm still every bit as passionate about home theater as I have ever been. You know, I love it, but I also want to serve you guys, the home theater community.
And like me and you were talking earlier, Michael, I think that you reviewing the Kalos in your home is more of a real life replication of what, because I mean, I honest off the top of my head, if somebody's building a room about the size of your lab, they're probably going to go with the Noesis line anyway, because they're bigger, built for a bigger room. And but so that's, yeah, I think that an at-home review that
Did you freeze? See, he was giving me some trash. Yeah, Scott just froze.
No, I'm not froze.
You did. You totally froze. you got that Dollar General Wi-Fi? What's going on over there, man?
No, you know what actually happened? So the Ethernet feed that comes into this room goes on and off with my Anthem processor. And because it's, I don't know, some weird stuff that sometimes the Anthem will just turn on and off by itself. It's on like a 2-hour timer. So because me and you were on for like I was on for like 40 minutes before the start. So anyway, yeah, I was just resting like Casey said. I just every about hour I just fall off for about 30 seconds and that's good.
That's right.
But another thing too is I've seen people talking about from yesterday about like, oh, where's Kat? She's part of this channel too. So let me address that super quick. So the channel still, Kat's involved just behind the scenes a lot more with like t-shirt designs and t-shirt sales. And like if you come over and we're hosting a big event, she's here, you're meeting her, she's hanging out with you. It's
she's
just
the best host in the world, man. She's awesome.
Yeah, she doesn't feel comfortable because people want to talk the gear and the technical side. She's like, look, dude, that isn't my scene.
Yeah.
But like, so if for you guys that are coming out to hang out with us next week, because we're going to be at Maximum Pressure in Michigan, which is a big EDM event that we're hosting with some other, people like Detroit Rave Scene and stuff like that. She'll be with, and she'll be in her get up of like the crazy colored hair and her EDM outfit. And for her, the face-to-face chat and talking is cool. Yeah. Her coming on here and talking about what subwoofer should I buy or what frequency. Yeah.
She did it to help support you and get you started.
Yes.
She held his hand while he started his channel. Yeah. Now that he's going, she's like, training wheels are coming off. You're on your own. I'm gonna go hang out in the theater room or wherever she does.
Yeah, so so she's still very much involved. And like when I made Bass Brings Us Together official LLC company, she's 50% owner of this company. I just talked to her the other day about ordering 16 JTR subwoofers for a live PA event. I had that full conversation with her, what that would entail, what I'm planning on doing next year. So she's certainly part of everything just because she's not sitting alongside me right now. So I just wanted to, she's still a lot of responsibility of what is going on around here with this channel. So
yeah. Dirty, appreciate it, man.
Thanks.
I'm always happy to help, man. Here's the challenge, and Scott's learning this firsthand. When you have a small channel, when there's 10,000 subscribers, you can answer every single email, every single comment, every single Facebook message, every single Instagram post. Then you get to 20 and 30 and 40. And eventually at some point, I think I did really good until 50. When I hit 50,000, I'm like, okay, this is starting to get overwhelming. Like, this is a lot. And then like even a guy today, he posted on my channel, he said something like, because I had posted that we were going to have the live stream tonight. And he basically said, he said, oh, I didn't realize you were in Chicago. Maybe that's why you didn't reply about my interest in a Kaleidoscape Strato V. I'm like, dude, I don't have a clue what he's talking about. Like, I don't have an email. I mean, did he make a comment? I mean, if he made a comment, like, yeah, there's a bunch of them I don't see. There's no physical way to see those, much less respond to all of them. But we do our best, to provide.
With Kevin, so like Michael, our Bass Brings Us Together Facebook group, I got like 14 or 15,000 people in there, and then 25,000 here, plus my own Facebook page has like 25,000 followers. So I really, no lie, I'll lay in bed at night like an hour before I should go to sleep and like really try to get back. And then literally, if I'm not responding to you, I either didn't see it or I just didn't have the time. It's not because I didn't want to answer your question or entertain you or something like that. It's just, it's.
And then now that we've got the other dedicated channel, Obsessed Home Theater, so now I'm having to switch between my YouTube channel on Youthman, making sure I remember to switch over to that and then look at the notifications and reply to those. So it's getting even more overwhelming, but we do the best I definitely don't feel bad. It's just, there's literally so many times in a day. And like Scott was saying, sometimes you physically, like I could spend my entire day answering comments, replying to emails, replying to Facebook messages, Facebook posts and comments. I could do that all day and I would never make a single video ever. I would never spend time with my family ever. It's that amount. And so we do the best that we can to help you guys. Obsessed Home Theater customer support is as good as it gets. That's cool, man. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, Miguel, I'm excited for you, dude. You're building a killer home theater. So I think yours would be a really cool one to come out and see and check out. So,
so I'll answer this, January. Actually, yeah. So I went to, I'll answer this in a few different ways so you can check out a few of my different personalities. So I was invited to PA Subwoofer Shootout about a year ago. So there was a few different JTR subwoofers there, a few different JBLs, and then a few different baseball subwoofers. Now, so first of all, since I've dealt so much with JTR, if I ever had which is awesome because I haven't had a warranty claim on any of my stuff yet. So people keep asking, "Oh, how's their customer service or warranty?" Like, I was like, "Well, fingers crossed." I haven't, and this stuff don't live an easy life at my house. I haven't had a warranty, a subwoofer, an amplifier yet, so I'm not sure about that. But I mean, I've heard that they take care of their customers pretty good. But I've seen how the stuff is built. I see the drivers that are getting used. I'm very familiar with the amplifiers. So I'm comfortable with purchasing that product, but performance is important to me too. So I did hear the Bass Boss. I believe it's their Quad 21. Now, in full disclosure, for mid-bass output, that subwoofer had the most bass out of any of the subwoofers that were there. It was also a 400 to 500 pound subwoofer with 421s, humongous amp. I expected it. I enjoyed it. But what I'm trying to offer, see, how we got, now people say, oh, you guys are welcoming or got good personalities, that's why we want to come hang out with you. Okay, that might be one thing. But what else people are checking out is they want to check out a home theater that was doing 10 hertz and below at these insane SPLs because nobody was doing it. So that was like the thing that I got to use to help build the channel because I had like a one-off thing that not many other people have done.
Yeah, you were different. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, so I wasn't just looking for a loud PA speaker because I can go to any club tonight in Chicago and have the sound bar filled with subs, all loud, but pretty much 30, 35 hertz and up. So, and some of the baseball stuff that I experienced was like 25 hertz and up. But when Jeff had the 218 touring edition kind of circling around Chicago, I said, it's going to some DJ's house here and there. I said, Jeff, whenever they're getting done, can I just borrow that and I'll shoot a video on it and I'll rue it and check it out. And when we were listening to some EDM tracks that Kat and I were very familiar that played down to 20 hertz or 18 or 19 hertz, out of any system we've ever went and experienced, we were getting a lot of weird impact on us, but you weren't really hearing it. Where most PA systems you go to, it's extremely loud, which I want to go for, but I want to bring in that lowest octave of bass that, I mean, nobody's really offering in the club EDM scene. Because it's funny because Kat goes, dude, you have no free time, but you want to start a whole nother thing. I was like, yeah, because it's fun. Yeah. And she's like, that's a weird scene, like late night club scene. I said, but I just want to be the sound guy.
Yeah.
I want to have the equipment. I want to do the calibration and the setup. And then, they bring in their cool DJ that hypes everybody up and does all that. But I think that just like we did in the home theater of having that one-off, while you can't really get that anywhere, that would give me a push in that
That'd be
market.
super cool.
So
you said you're going to start another channel for that?
Oh man, I don't know, but just like you said, dude,
it's hard, dude. I tell you.
Well, because Kat will be part of that, because I try to include her on most. Man, dude, I don't. It's with I mean, and you know what it's like to raise a family, and have another. I mean, so literally, as I've been here with you guys, I've had 6 messages come on my phone about work. So it's a really fine line between make sure I give enough love and attention to all my girls, make sure that everything at work is perfectly fine, try to entertain some enthusiasts on the side, and now try to bring in, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're crashing out, man. You're crashing out.
Dude. It's we're like you guys was obsessed home theater. You have a plan. You know where you're going. Not 100% sure how you're getting there quite yet.
Yeah, we're just forging ahead.
I'll share the good, bad, and ugly too. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's just the journey, and being authentic and sharing that journey along the way. And I've told you guys, look, I'm going to share. I've always shared my personal journey in my home theater as I built that out. And it still has some small tweaks here and there, but for the most part, it's in a good position. I'm not chasing anything there. Now I'm looking at, all right, I want to do like some kind of small 2-channel setup in my living room. Might be Kalos. It might be this Weem amp over here. It might be a 2-channel something streamer. I don't know. So I'm looking at that. But I've also made a commitment that, look, I'm going to bring you along my journey on the business side of it too. You know, and I share a lot of information on Patreon. You know, kind of behind the scenes stuff, things that we're working on, things that, you know, we're testing out. And so it's one of those things that if it works, we're going to share it. But, you know, if we screw up, we're going to share that too. Because I think that's real. That's being authentic. You know, too much of social media is the glossed over, the photoshopped, and we only share the perfection. We only share the good. Well, that's not reality. Because I don't know about you guys, but there are days I get up and I don't feel like I'm worth anything. There are days I get up and I'm tired. There's days I get up and I feel overwhelmed. You know, there are days that I do things great. There are days that, man, everything is going wrong in my life. And so when we're willing to share the good, the bad, the ugly, the real, the raw, it just makes us human. There have been times I've left stuff in my videos and I could have taken it out. And like you know, the part of me is going, man, I really should remove that because that makes me look stupid.
Like the beginning of this podcast, how stupid
there are times that there, like just recently there was a gap. There was I don't know, like a 12-second blank space in my video, and somebody mentioned, they're like, hey Michael, you know, you left a gap in your video. I'm like, what happened was I went back through, I was editing and I found this section. It was like 12 seconds and I deleted it. It just didn't, you know, whatever reason, I didn't like it or didn't think it fit in the video, didn't add to the story. So I deleted it, but I forgot to bring the end over to the, you know, to that space. So there was like a 12-second gap, things like that. There are times that I goof up and I can either take that out or I can, you know, just leave it and go, you know what, that's human, you know?
And we can all, and
yeah,
a lot of my stuff is unedited, or if it is, it's just edited enough because I got to take out like a curse word or something because you know, because I try to keep it as PG friendly as possible in the videos that I'm making. What's funny is we sit here talking and so many people are commenting here. So Bob, my house isn't up for sale. I mean, Youthman's been dealing with his, but no,
mine was on the market and I took it off, but Scott, he's not moving.
No,
we'll eventually move, but
we won't. I mean, the girls are in a good school system. Kat loves the neighborhood. We're not. The only time we would move is to downsize once everybody's out of the house, pretty much. So this is actually a good question. Youthman, do either of you guys use the bass boost on your sub? So let's just assume they're talking about LF adjust.
Yeah.
What I've recommended to some people is if you calibrate with the LF adjust at 0, you let your calibration do it, and then you can give it a few clicks to give you a house curve if you're not familiar with mini DSPs. And
it's an easy way to add a house curve. I don't think I used on either one of mine because I don't
use it, but
you don't
want to go through learning a DSP or anything, it's a good way to give yourself a house curve.
Yeah, it just boosts those really low frequencies.
Yeah. Life is busy. Yes, sir, Scott. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a great name too, Scott. Good job with that.
Yeah.
So with Llama Few concert, I went to use L acoustic subarrays that played pretty deep. I really like to hear how that JTR setup would sound. So for me, I want to do small to medium venues and keep high SPL, low hertz, only because it's already going to be very expensive to do what I want to do. Once you move into outside, man, then it's just, I got to start somewhere and see where it's going to go from there. Pretty much. There's no way I could have just went all the way like that. Yeah. But, no, dude, I appreciate all those outside events and venues and sound designers and make total sense. Oh, that was talking about the bass boss and stuff. Yeah. I understand why, like a lot of people, it makes sense for a lot of the PA guys just to shoot for 30 hertz and above, because trying to create 20 hertz in a huge room it's a huge task. And if you don't play a lot of EDM style music, Like you do a lot of rock and country, I mean, you're not chasing 20 hertz anyway.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
the good, bad, and ugly. I believe me and Michael do a good job of showing that, like he was talking about, we're all human, make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I'll make more mistakes tonight, tomorrow, and that's just life.
Absolutely.
I'm using a PA woofer in my Valadyne cabinet as my subwoofer in home theater. And I've convinced myself that my next subwoofer needs to be an actual subwoofer that hits low frequencies. Yeah, I can agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah, I've always shared on my channel that for home theater, especially, music's a little different, but home theater, at least get a subwoofer that plays down to 20 hertz.
Yeah.
Typically with PA drivers, you're going to get down to like 30 or 35 hertz. I think you're missing out a lot of that experience watching a movie. Now, anything below 20 hertz is amazing. If you can get down to 17 hertz, awesome. If you can get down to 15 hertz, even better. If you can get down to 10 hertz, that's rare, and it's phenomenal. I'm getting down to 5 hertz in my room. I think Scott's getting down to about 7 or 8 in his room. Yeah. You know, when you're getting down to those single digits, it's just wild. It's really, really stinking wild, and it's a lot of fun, but not everybody needs to get there because it is a lot more expensive to hit single digits than it is to hit 20 hertz. And so that's why most of the manufacturers, Klipsch, SVS, Sioux Research, they're usually in around like 17-ish, 18, 17, 20. You know, some of them will go down about 14, but then they start dropping off really, really quick. And usually even when they hit down to about 17 hertz, they're already starting to roll off. And then by 16, it's really bad. So it starts dropping off significantly quick. But if you can hit 20 hertz, like if you're not getting 20 hertz on your PA cabinet, 100%, dude. I rocked a Valadyne for many, many years. Started off with a CT100. That was a 10-inch with a 100-watt amp. Found a used one on Facebook Marketplace. That was the F1500, 15-inch driver with a 250-watt amp. Then found a HGS. For some reason that doesn't sound right.
No, there's a HGS model.
Is it HGS? Yeah, HGS 15. So that was like nice, beautiful piano black finish, high excursion woofer, 1250-watt continuous amplifier. Found that on Facebook Marketplace. Found a second one. So then I rocked 2 of them. And so find one that can hit 20 hertz at least. If you can do that, dude, I'm telling you, you're going to absolutely love it. But some of those older, old school subwoofers like Valadyne, you can get those super, super cheap on. The challenge with the older subwoofers, like if they're 10 years old and older, is eventually that amp's going to die. I mean, that's just a given. My Valadynes, they started, messing up on me. I had one of my 4 Klipsch subwoofers. They were 10 years old when I bought them, but I only paid like $250 for each of them. I think one of them I paid maybe $350. And so there's some good deals out on the used market. So definitely don't be scared to check those out. But
so Kaysen wants to know, he said what you guys just said. I wonder, do you guys get tired of the constant on the go? For me personally, I don't do well with downtime. Like I don't watch TV. Mm-hmm. I'll watch a new movie or movie clips, but like to sit down and watch TV shows and stuff, my brain, either I'm sleeping or I'm on the go, and maybe that's because I help run an emergency-based plumbing business out of Chicago. So over the last 25 years, I'm just used to that. You stay on the go, and it's funny. I was actually just talking to a buddy of mine yesterday. And he goes, I'm like you. He goes, I've always believed that idle hands are devil's playground.
Yeah.
And he goes, I feel like that I have to be doing something, or I'm doing something wrong, or I don't. It's funny because we stress ourselves out and we frustrate ourselves for sometimes no reason, because like maybe the video don't need to drop today. Maybe I don't need to go do this, or maybe I don't need to have those 10 guys over next weekend. So it isn't us complaining, but it's also, you feel like you need to be doing. I mean, I feel like I need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Michael, especially with you starting.
I'm a workaholic. I really think I'm a workaholic, but I'm a workaholic because I love what I do. You know, I truly enjoy answering comments. I truly enjoy making videos. I truly enjoy flying out to CD and hearing about these cool new toys and these new products that these manufacturers are sharing for the first time. I enjoy doing home theater tours. I enjoy getting products in like the Youthman to review and the Kalo sub 12 or 12 sub that I just got. You know, those types of things. I enjoy that, but it's constant. I mean, there's never, it's funny. Every once in a while I'll be on the couch. And what's funny is my wife, she comes from the 9 to 5 mindset. She's a school teacher. So I'll be on the couch and, you know, I've got YouTube Studio pulled up and so I'm looking at my comments and I'm clicking on here. Okay. I'm replying to a comment. I'm flipping over to Facebook, replying to comments there. Then I'm checking my emails, replying to emails. So I'm laying on the couch doing all this, or I'm here in my office and, you know, I got my feet propped up on the desk and, you know, I'm just replying and stuff. And sometimes she'll come and she'll be like, don't you have a video to make? I'm like, babe, there's never a time when I don't have something to do. There's never, ever a moment that I don't have a video that I can be working on. But the reality is this thing is so much bigger than just a video. You know, you can either just devote yourself to making videos, or you can just devote to post like pictures online or answering comments. But I just do my best to kind of do all of it, you know? But yeah, I guess it's kind of that, you know, the adage that, when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I don't believe that. I mean, it's work. There's no doubt. I mean, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna look at my channel. On my channel, I have, and I don't say this like to toot my horn. I just want to share with you. On my channel, let me go here. I have 1,297 videos on my channel. Out of 1,297, I have I have edited 1,296 of them. One video I paid a guy to edit a home theater tour because I think it was like right after Cedia, and I needed to get these videos for Cedia because those were sponsored videos. But I also really wanted to get this home theater tour, and it was a big home theater tour, and I was just running out of time. Or maybe I was headed to Cedia after that, something like that. And I just didn't have enough bandwidth in me. And so I reached out to a guy that had offered to help. And I said, hey, what would you charge me to edit one of my videos? And I think it was pretty inexpensive. It was like $200. I'm like, I don't have time. Fine, that'd be great. And so I paid him $200. He did a great job on the video, but I've edited every single video on this channel. Now, earlier I said filmed and edited. I can't take that credit because there are times when I go to Cedia, I hire a videographer to come with me. They use my camera, they use my lighting, they use my microphones. I just physically can't be in two places at one time. I can't be behind the camera, or I'm sorry, in front of the camera talking to, you know, let's say somebody at Ascendo, and we're talking about their new 64-inch subwoofer, their 100-inch subwoofer. I can't do that and lock down my camera on a tripod. This thing's like probably about $5,000. And I'm not putting this joker on a tripod in the middle of Cedia with like 20,000 people walking. I've had people walk in between my camera guy and us this year. Like, he's filming, we're over here, and I see this guy walk right in front of the camera. I'm like, dude, like, don't you see we're doing an interview here? And so it's one of those things where I've filmed almost all of them, but there are times that I do film, you know, have somebody that films, but I've edited all but one. But the thing is, I love what I do. Now, eventually I'd love to hire a video or an editor. And like, man, then I can just make more content. Like, I can just focus on, because I get overwhelmed. I got this to review. I've got the Valerian Max down here. It's been sitting here for 2 weeks. I run out of time. I've got the Kalo sub. I've got the, I just boxed up the Sue research, Chimera, that subwoofer, I've been needing to finish that video. So I finally got that video done. I'm boxing it back up, shipping that back off to Dr. Sue. So it's a constant, but you got to be willing to put in the work if you're going to build a business, if you're going to build a brand, if you're going to serve people, and if you're going to do it well. And so I just want to get to the end of my life and go, man, I gave it my all. I didn't half butt it. I went all in. So, and I know Scott's the same way. The dude works continually. Like when he says he continually works, he does. He's always getting stuff. And that's pulled from not only YouTube and Facebook and all that, where the base brings us together, but it's also his full-time job. He's got 2 things he's juggling, and he's got young kids. And it's like, man, it's a lot. And he's got it's just one of those things where you just keep going and going and going.
Yeah, and by no means are we complaining. We're very blessed and very happy to be in that position.
Dude, I think it's awesome I get to do this.
Yeah. So I promise everybody, how do we go through an hour and like 45 minutes already, man? That is.
Yeah, I think there was. Let me see. What else?
I wanted you to answer this one, Michael, because I'm sure this is going to be a popular question, especially for your channel.
For video direct art now that it's available on Denon Marantz. Yes, I'd like to do that, but I'll be honest, it's not on my priority. I've got to get through. I've got reviews that like this thing, the Weem. I think they sent it to me a month ago. I got to get this thing unboxed, get it set up, share my honest thoughts on it, use. So yes, I like to do that. It's on the list.
Was there some of these guys were swinging by so fast I couldn't get.
Yeah, I'm just like, Michael, really appreciate you making your faith a noticeable part of your videos. Yeah, man, that's just who I am. This isn't something that I do on Sunday morning. It's like my faith is who I am. My love for Jesus.
Yeah. I brought that up earlier, but we were talking about something else.
Wake up tired thinking about finishing. Yeah. Looking at putting cables. Yeah. I saw that. Siphonics, you mentioned your cables. I saw that on your channel. That's awesome, dude.
I was on his live before I came on here with you. I was hanging out with him while he was Siphonics got a bunch of new toys over at his place, and he was out with me and Don last night. We were talking about a bunch of that.
It's a cool perk, man. I mean, we get people send you stuff and you get to play with it for a while, send it back to them. Sometimes they let you keep it because it costs them more money to send it back to them than it does for you to keep it. But we get access to some really cool gear and some cool opportunities. Just recently I had a company say, hey, can you fly out to, we want to send you out to Wyoming. I've never been to Wyoming. Went to Jackson Hole. Apparently billionaires live there in Jackson Hole. My hotel was $650 a night. Wow. We spent 2 nights in a hotel, but we flew out. We flew out Monday morning, spent the night in a hotel, filmed all day Tuesday, spent the night in a hotel, and then flew back home on Wednesday. But they paid me to go out and, interview them, talk about their product. And, that was a sponsored video. I did a vlog, a second video for them. I did some social posts for them, just talking about it. And so we get some cool opportunities, man. And so
I get people that want to send me stuff and I just politely decline.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not a review chain. Like, Michael's whole career is based around doing this. Yeah. So if people ask me all the time, are you going to review this or that? I talk about the stuff that I own or that I bought or stuff I have gone to check out before and be like, oh, I picked this subwoofer, this speaker, this preamp for whatever reason. But then once again, different channels bringing you different content or different viewpoints. So, but if you're subscribing to me, to Michael, to his newest channel with the Obsessed Home Theater, you're going to see stuff that's kind of the same, but maybe presented in a different way that you can understand better. Or if you reach out to either of us, we'll answer questions if we have the knowledge of whatever you're asking. Or if you ask it in one of our Facebook groups, somebody is going to have the knowledge to answer that question. So Michael has a Facebook group, Obsessed Home Theater, Youthman. I have Base Brings Us Together. If you guys aren't part of that, they're great resources for not only making friends, but finding answers.
Yeah. And the thing is, and that was the whole reason why I started that group, is because I got to the point to where I couldn't answer everybody's questions. And so it's like, look, here's a great community of people. So instead of one person trying to help you, now you've got thousands of people that potentially could help answer your question and guide you in the right direction or share their experience. And so, yeah.
So I'm going to just answer this one last question for Travis. He's asking about who makes sound reinforcement speakers that can go down 12, 13 hertz. Well, so in the theater space, I mean, one of the well-knowns is like the JTR Captivator. In home theater space for years, they were been the #1 commercial sub. Like Database being a third-party company for years, people were trying to compete with them, and JTR has always been well known for low bass there. So I've been comfortable with JTR product, just owning and dealing with JTR for so many years. They make a sound reinforcement sub that's tuned to 20 hertz in rooms. I mean, you can get 17, 18, 19, just depending. And for me, that's where I want to be. Not really looking to chase 13 or 12 because a lot of the EDM music that I would want to play or use on it is really centered like 20 to 25 hertz. And plus, even moving down to 13 or 12 is going to be even more and more product. I mean, at a certain point, I have to put a limitation on something. But I do know that I'm not interested in chasing 30, 35, 40 hertz because there's already so many people doing that, which is fine. It's just if I was going to take the time out of my day to build a system, I wanted to do something that was just a lot less common. So appreciate you stopping by, Travis William. Great questions. Appreciate everybody coming here to hang out for 2 hours with us. I mean, I've been keeping an eye. We moved from 20 to 30, 40, 50, 60 viewers for this last 2 hours. So if you guys are hanging on a Saturday night with us, that's awesome. I appreciate it, Michael. I certainly appreciate your time. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. So I certainly appreciate your friendship as well.
Yeah, I appreciate yours, man. No, we've had a great relationship. You and Kat have been awesome. Y'all been great hosts. Every time I come up there, y'all just been so generous. I get the princess room, which is pretty awesome, man. It's pink room. So it's great.
Well, yeah, with we give you the street view, which we don't give that to everybody.
The princess suite is awesome. No, I'm serious. I'm grateful. No, we just have a great friendship. We share the same passion. We share the same love for the community. And I respect that. That's one of the things I've absolutely loved. You keep your channel very, very positive. And I do the same. There's enough negativity in this world. People, beating down each other. And, even in my Facebook group, man, I very rarely ever ban somebody, ever. Yeah. I mean, you got to do something really stupid to get banned in my group. Same thing on YouTube. You either got to say something very racist or actually even just racist, period. You're going to be racist. If you're going to be like just hateful, like straight up hateful, I'm okay with you being negative or you criticizing, oh, you should have did this in your video, or I think you're wrong. I'm okay with that. Or I disagree. Fine. As long as you do it respectfully, that I don't care. But when you get mean and nasty, but this guy, he messaged me and I'd been with my grandson all day. And so I come home and I check my phone and the first message I see on Facebook is, hey, why do you keep deleting my comments? You must be hiding or you can't, something like you can't handle the truth or something like that. I'm like, dude, what are you smoking? I've been with my grandson all day. I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's like, well, it's your effing group and you should know. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? And basically, so then I go over to look I found out it was Facebook, and I go look at the history and it shows 3 posts. He wrote the same thing 3 different times, and Facebook automatically blocked it. And it blocked it because he didn't have a profile picture. So Facebook's thinking, oh, this is a spam comment. So it blocked it. I didn't have anything to do with it, but man, he cussed me out and said some things. So I just shared that with my group. I'm like, look, this turd, he's acting like this, and I don't have time to babysit. I don't have time to have somebody that's just going to be drama and negative and cuss me out over something I didn't even do. So I booted him. I'm like, see ya. I ain't got time for that, man. So I appreciate your positivity that you bring to the home theater community. I think we need more of Oh, the guy has it. No, it wasn't that guy. That I know who you're talking about. It's funny. That guy has a YouTube channel. He's very negative with your channel. Yeah, he's negative with everybody, but that's his thing. He's using that to grow a channel, and I just think that's crazy. Like to intentionally bash brands and people for the sake of views and to stir up controversy. That's not how I want to build a channel. I want to build a channel because I'm kind, because I'm loving, because hopefully I bring people joy.
Or you want to have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Those types of things. That's how I build a channel. And I've been able to do that, over the past I was adding it up. I think January of 2026 will be 9 years for me. I started in 2018. That's just wild. That just means I'm getting old. Oh, good, man. But no, man, that's what it's about. It's about you guys in the chat. We appreciate y'all being here, hanging out with us for a couple hours, man. It's always fun, Scott. I'm super grateful for your channel, your growth. You've put in the work. You're not only making the content, but you're also opening up your home to literally thousands of people, over the past, 5 years that you've been doing it, or 4 years or whatever.
Well, I only documented now for since I met you. I mean, I wasn't even doing nothing on my own, but
you've been doing it. Like, you've been putting in the work, and then now you're putting in the work, doing the live streams and your merch and your Facebook group. I mean, that's a lot of work. There's no doubt. I know the grind. I really, really do.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So, but it's awesome to share it with 50, 60 people for 2 hours too, and hear what they have to say or what's going on with them or them. It's the friendly, positive interaction it does make it worth it for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if this all went to crap and everybody's just on here dogging me, I've been like, well, you guys have a good night. I'm going to go do something fun.
Peace out, man. Yeah. I got better things to do in my life. Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to let you go. If you haven't subscribed to either one of us, I think it'd be worth your time. Check out Michael's new channel too, if you are more interested in just what that company is specifically doing and about specific products they're carrying. They just launched that channel.
I'll drop it in the chat because I think it's still hard to find. It's basically youtube.com. And you just do /obsessed home theater. I think it is. Let me make sure this is going to work. No, you got to put the @ sign. Yeah. So it's like /obsessed. I'll drop it in the chat. And Scott, you may have to drop it in the chat because I don't have the ability to share it on mine and yours. So let me I'll set it in the private chat, and then you can copy it if you want to.
Okay. All right, cool.
There it is.
All right, everybody. Well, peace out. We're out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And one of us will be dropping a video or live or doing something, and or check us out in the Facebook group. One of us is always posting. There's always something going on somewhere. So.
For sure, man. Right. Have a great week. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.